Welcome back to Ask the Mayor, a totally interactive opportunity for you to ask a question. I'm Philadelphia Mayor Michael Nutter by way of social media. It's not too late to join the conversation. Twitter, hashtag #TweetNutter, Facebook.com/NBC Philadelphia, or email us at askthemayor@NBCPhiladelphia.com. Lots of questions, lots of topics today. Let's get to the first question. Laverne is worried about Philadelphia's image and making sure businesses keep things clean outside their establishment and suggests a fine for those who don't. People not even take a broom and sweep trash off their property, just ride by Broad and Susquehanna, and you'll see what I'm trying to show you. Laverne.
Well, I mean, this kind of goes back to the earlier question, and whether it's on a residential street or in many of our business corridors, we really do have to get people much more engaged and involved. And one of the things I didn't mention earlier was Philly Rising. Philly Rising is an opportunity to really put into place many of the positive aspects of what quality of life is really all about. That's about community organizing. That's about listening more to people in communities about what their concerns are. It could be trash, it could be abandoned houses, a light out, an alley issue, or something like that. And so we're testing this, and we'll roll it out citywide. It's in the 26th district, police districts, the 26th, the 19th, the 15th, and the 6th downtown, and in the Market East section. Eventually, it will roll out citywide, and that, I think, is one of the ways that we get people much more actively engaged. If you want to do something about trash, let's do something about trash and organize ourselves around it. If you want more services, if you want more programs, let's work together and figure out how do we come up with creative solutions. Some may require money, some may just require better coordinating the resources that we have.
Right. This next is more a comment about trash. Dear Mayor Nutter, I'm a Southern transplant that fell in love with Philadelphia. I've been here for 2 years and some months. I've seen drastic improvements in areas by Center City in terms of cleanliness. I now live in the 2200 block of Wolf Street and West Pass Yonk. It's absolutely tragic as far as trash. There are no trash cans available or city cleanup since I've moved here. Is it possible to have trash cans for public use to promote proper disposal of trash in my area? Thanks, Dave.
Sure, and I'm assuming you're going to let us have some of these, some of the questions that come in.
Yes.
Two things. One, we want to take a look at that area. We've put out hundreds of what are referred to as big belly solar compactor trash cans, as well as the sidearm, which is the recycling component with it. Off the top of my head, I don't know the location of all those cans, so obviously there are none over there. We want to take a look and see how we can work with the folks over there, either put those or some of the more traditional baskets, but also make sure that someone's paying attention to them and that they get emptied. Lastly, when we put those cans out, we really have to ask the public, this is not your personal trash can. You should not take your green trash bag, your clear trash bag, whatever it is that you do with your trash, and put it in a public receptacle outside. We're going to get you once a week, like we usually do, so don't fill it up in a day.
Right. Our social media team is taking all of your questions. Let's head to NBC10's Vince Latanzio. He has been sort of taking your pulse, seeing what's trending over there. What are people saying, Vince?
Well, we first started with quality of life was the biggest thing, and now crime and safety is one of the major issues. And this is a comment from Anonymous. She has a question for you. At a community meeting in Frankfurt, we were told by the police captain to get a group of our beach chairs and sit by unruly houses, some drug houses, and watch them and make them nervous. Do you think this will really help?
Well, it could. I mean, you know, vermin and other low-life forms don't really like to be observed in terms of doing what they're doing. They tend to scatter, and that's what I mean. Obviously, I wasn't at that meeting, but I'm assuming that that's what the leader or the captain may have been talking about. Those folks don't want to do what they're doing in a full view of folks, you know, and that may be a little bit of a strategy and tactic to cut down on that kind of behavior.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit more about the police and civilians working together. Jillian is tweeting, what is the deal, the ideal form of collaboration between police and civilians, and how does this city plan to implement this model? And then again, this is from Jillian.
Jillian, I would really go back and maybe talk a little bit more about Philly Rising, because that is our form of community service and community policing, where the citizenry and the police are actively engaged on a regular basis. We have to break down many, many barriers between the community and the police and community. The police need citizens to give them information, and the citizens need the police to make sure that people aren't doing inappropriate things. And so that partnership is critical. I think through Philly Rising, the requirement that the police commissioner has set out is that the lieutenant will be in charge of what's going on in that area. They have to have regular monthly meetings with the citizens in those communities. And so as we roll out Philly Rising citywide, I think people are going to see a new level of engagement with the police department as partners to make our city a safer place.
Okay. On our Facebook page, Walt is saying, I was wondering why Philadelphia has not invested more to develop the huge amount of waterfront property. Penn's Landing is the only attraction, and that does not really draw people to the area.
That's Walt.
That's Walt.
Well, Walt, you're going to see more activity. This past summer, we just released the waterfront master plan for the Penn's Landing area by the Delaware River Waterfront Corporation. You may have seen the Ray Street Pier that was recently developed and opened this past spring. It was just Feastival just held a big event at Pier 11, which is Pier 9, which is located right next door to what was Pier 11. It's now Ray Street Pier. And so we are looking for a significant amount of growth and development, recreational activities, residential activities, restaurants, and other businesses to open in that area, as well as more open space. So that's why we created a bike and walking trail. It's going to go along eventually the 7 miles of our waterfront. Our goal is to have one of the best waterfronts anywhere in the United States of America, and we think we can accomplish it over a period of time. It'll take a significant amount of investment, but it'll be more than worth it. Again, more jobs, more activity, and a huge attraction for the waterfront. We see the double fireworks that we have on New Year's Eve and a bunch of other activities down there.
To bring more people in. Okay. This tweet just came in. What happened to Wireless Philadelphia program? I work from home and would like to take my laptop outside sometimes. And that's from Kenny.
The original program, which was, I think, overseen by Earthlink, they kind of went out of that business. The city did eventually buy that network, and I believe it is actually operational in a number of places. So who was that, Kenny?
Kenny.
Kenny, you should go outside and check it out. I think it may still be operational in places like Love Park and a number of other big areas, but I think if you call 311, they can probably help you out with that.
Okay, well, we're getting a lot of questions. Our social media team, keep those questions coming. Philadelphia Mayor Michael Nutter has your answers. You are watching Ask the Mayor. We're back in a minute.